What's on the bench today? We have a 1930s National Resonator guitar, and this is the one with the deep V carved neck, very similar to my personal 1936 Regal Resonator, and it's seen better days. It's got some issues. The biggest issue is if you look where the bridge is and look where the neck is, it's got a big where it's going downward like this. The neck is actually pulling up, and it's not pulled away from the body, but we're gonna see about maybe doing a neck reset on this thing. Not sure yet, but we'll know more in the future. I just pulled the saddle off, or the tailpiece, and look at all the wear on this thing from it pulling forward for so many years. Just really tells the story of this guitar and how much it's been played and what it's been put through over the years. Really neat guitar. I'm hoping we can save it and make it playable again in not only slide form but regular standard playing form. Look how well loved this thing has been over the years. That's all from playing this thing, and all wear from playing it. And I think Jerry at Rosa String Works calls it old man fingernail syndrome, because you know that old men have longer fingernails generally and kind of grows in or digs into the board. But man, is that cool. This thing is just full of mojo and tells a story. Every single one of these holes for the resonator were all wallered out, and the screws put in at different angles, and some of them were just kind of loose in there. But for those of you that have not seen the inside of a vintage resonator guitar, I showed a modern resonator guitar here a couple weeks ago. This is the cone of a vintage resonator guitar, and it's a little beat up actually. It's got some dents and stuff, but essentially this is a speaker that when the instrument vibrates, it vibrates this, which amplifies the sound. And they came out with these to make the guitar a louder instrument, because before this there was, you know, gut string classical guitars, and there was some steel string F-hole guitars and stuff, but there really weren't the round sound hole models that we know today. And so anyway, I just thought I'd show that. I'm going to actually pull this resonator out, and you can see how loose the this piece is on the cone. That's actually not a good thing. But here is the inside. And this is actually the first one I've seen that didn't have the bracing around here. Most of them do have the bracing. Even my 36 Regal does. So that's very interesting. Here's some hide glue from either a previous repair or from, it could be from assembly even. But I can tell you just by looking at it that this top has a dish in it. It's bowed down, and that's a big part of the problem. So we're gonna have to figure out the bracing situation in here and see what's going on. There's not much for bracing. Let me see if I can get you in there to see. All right, so that's the neck block, and this is a bit different than most of the resonators that I've dealt with, being as they usually have a piece of the neck that comes down this way towards the tail piece of the guitar as support, and then runs it kind of across the bottom. And this is, like I say, a bit different, but you know, Regal and National and the Dobro brand and whatever did things all a little bit differently, and these were all kind of the experimental stages. I was looking to see, there's a date in here, and I'm trying to get it to where you guys can read it. Franciscan, maybe it says. 1935. So that is probably the person who built it, maybe, at the factory, and the year. But super neat seeing the insides of these. And the guys who built these things didn't have big machines and stuff. They did a lot of this stuff by hand, and they were true craftsmen. So my goal is going to be to probably get this neck off of here and re-angle it. And you know, the neck joint is actually really solid, so it's kind of a shame to break this original neck joint. It's starting to separate just a little bit here on the bottom, but that's the kind of things we have to do. As you can see, there's even some like putty repair up here. That's actually Bondo that somebody has put in the end of the fretboard because there was wear there, I would assume from playing it. But this thing really tells a story. This is a true blues guitar right here. One other thing I wanted to point out on this guitar is these are hand carved F-holes. So somebody actually hand carved these. The hole, of course, was probably drilled with a drill bit, as was that one. But both of these F-holes were hand carved and hand filed by a true craftsman at the factory. So neat. I did find a piece here that had been repaired and it was broken out, so I am repairing that right now just to get that part out of the way and done. See all these little pieces of toothpicks? Those came out of the holes here that hold the resonator on, so we're gonna have to properly fix that. Anyway, I just thought I'd include doing some research on this, and judging by the look of the emblem that used to be here, this is a Regal made Dobro brand resonator guitar, and they were also sold under the Gretsch name, and it's circa 35 or 36, so that date inside is correct. And so it's not exactly what we thought, but it's really cool. And so when you hear people say, oh, I'm gonna bust out the Dobro, well, everybody refers to resonator guitars as Dobros, but Dobro is actually a brand. Dobro is not a type of guitar. Just wanted to show you guys that. This is, like I say, I think a 1935 resonator guitar, and you just don't see these things every day. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Thad with Shoemaker Guitar Works. Have a great day. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe.